Hello guys, it is the Gaming Weasel back again with another video, and Yareli is our topic for today's video by the title, but sadly it is a sad topic to see one of the newer frames inside of the game being this bad. Honestly, Severgoth was pretty good. Lavos was pretty good. I had no issues with those two. They seem okay, they seem fun, they seem useful. Merleon, on the other hand, or Yareli, sorry, on the other hand, is the opposite. She's pretty bad, useless in most missions above level 45, maybe 50, maybe, dependable. Team damage wise and team support wise, pretty bad. Crowd controlling wise, bad. Damage wise, bad. Literally everything. I cannot see her be useful in any sort of area. Okay, so let's get right into the juicy part of this video. Her blueprint is obtained by doing the Brave Rider quest, which is a comic quest, and of course it requires cage rise, which is of course very loved by the Warframe community. Literally the first day that I entered Warframe, when this update came out, I've seen people just going in on that, how you have to play cage ride to get Merlina. And I didn't do the quest. I'm not gonna do it ever, probably. Because it's cage drives, and I don't love cage drives. Now, to get her parts, you need to create a new Tenno lab, or I guess a new lab inside of your clan dojo, which doesn't make sense. There's the Tenno lab for Tennos that you can, sorry, not Tennos, but Warframes that you can craft inside of the clan dojo. But, you know, might as well make us waste more resources. Okay, her abilities. Her passive is, it increases your secondary, if you move for 1.5 seconds, or more of course, you gain a critical chance for her secondary, which is cool, I guess. And her abilities go such as Sea Snares, Merlina, Aqua Blades, and Riptide. Okay, so in my opinion, Warframe abilities should synchronize to each other's abilities. So for example, let's say your first ability should synchronize with your third one, which is okay, or maybe your first with your second, or doesn't really matter. Or at least have separate abilities that don't correspond to each other but are useful on their own. So let's say for example we have Rhino. He has Iron Skin and he has Roar. Those two abilities can't really combine and buff each other, but on their own they're very good abilities. Well, let's say Hero. All four of Hero's abilities synchronize together because he can of course gain shields, he can gain health by killing, he can gain critical chance, he can do literally everything gun wise just by combining his abilities in some sort of way. Let's say Saren as well, and we have let's say Protea. She can damage a lot of enemies with her first and her second ability, and she's also a supporting frame. But Merlina is a different story. Sea Snares summons 3 little water bubbles that damage and bring up enemies. Only 3, and they damage them over time. The damage increases over time, and it does cold damage. Now, honestly, 3 is very bad. You can just use Woban's Bastille and just lift up a shit ton of enemies in one area. So crowd controlling isn't her thing. Merlina, her second ability, is a summonable cage drive inside of closed missions where you have tightly packed corridors and rarely open spaces. Yes, Corpus ships have a little bit more space than usual missions, but if you go on sort of any infested Corpus or Grineer ship, you're just dead. And of course, it's cool, you can maybe try her out for fast missions, but you have Warframes like Wukong, Volt, Gauss, Titania that can be, you know, much quicker than she can. Aqua Blades, her third ability, and the one that I'm kind of mostly sad about. It summons 3 Aqua Blades that spin around you in a 4-meter radius. Now, I didn't mention she has 100 armor. She has 450 shields and 350 health and max rank. I think I'm pretty close with the numbers, but that's around her numbers. A Warframe with those low stats, armor, shield, and health wise, shouldn't be 4 meters close to an enemy, and the range of these Aqua Blades cannot be changed. It is permanently locked at 4 meters. If it was maybe base 5 and max 7 or 8, okay, I don't mind it. And especially if, for example, let's say you put 3 enemies inside of sea snares and we put even more of them, then Aqua Blades maybe do more damage to those enemies. Now Aqua Blades do base slash damage, which is just really cool, but as you will see in a clip that's running right now, or should have ran, even a maxed out build with maxed out, literally all maxed out power strength, this ability is trash. And last but not least, we have Riptide. Riptide is a bubble that brings in enemies closer. It is based off of range, of course. It brings enemies closer, bubbles them up, does a little bit of cold damage, and then spews them out all around this area. Now, why would you have an ability where you attract enemies, or I guess bring them in, and then just disperse them out? That doesn't make any sense. For this, you have Lavos with his larva. He brings enemies in, his first ability is used to kill enemies inside of the larva, and the larva just goes away. There you go. For example, if it was an entrap ability like larva, it would have been cool. If it, for example, exploded but didn't really, I guess, disperse the enemies, would have been cool. And for example, let's say if you put sea snares inside of Riptide enemies, or maybe let's say Riptide sucked in some sea snare enemies and did extra damage, that would have been cool. But it doesn't do that. And that's why I think Yareli is a pretty bad Warframe. You cannot use her above level 45, she's not good at crowd controlling, neither at damage, neither at surviving. Morelina does redirect some of the damage to Morelina instead of Yareli, but it's a 75% damage reduction, which is very bad. Most Warframes have 90% or can literally go invincible, like for a certain amount of time, for example, like Revenant can. And yeah, that's mostly it. That's all I literally had to say about Yareli. I don't think she's a good frame. I don't think she's useful in literally no situations. And what would I do to change her? Made something, for example, as I said, Aqua Blades with sea snares or sea snares with Riptide to synchronize together, do some extra damage. Maybe don't make the enemies disperse with Riptide, or make the Aqua Blades range at least 6 or 7 meters, something like that, and lock it at that. I don't mind it, but being a squishy Warframe and being close to enemies in 4 meter radius is really bad. Morelina is too fast for in close spaces, and Sea Snares is just a worse Bastille, and that is mostly it. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Sorry it was a bit negative, but you know, we're gonna get on some positive things soon enough, you know me. And yeah, it's been the Gaming Weasel. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace out.